Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Quick video today. Got a bit of a review, quick review sort of. Do another review on this a couple of months down the track, but today, yeah, I've bought myself a new MIG welder, so let's see what we get in this UNIMIG Viper 182 Mark II starter kit. Alright, so I'm not a fabricator or a welder or anything like that. I'm just a backyard hobbyist, but I do enjoy DIY and yeah, I like giving stuff a crack, and everything I've learned is basically off watching videos, not like this one, but actual DIYs from pros who give tips. So I know that this old girl here is going to need a fair bit of work. You can see, I'll show you some of the body work here. It's pretty bad, so it's going to be a fair bit of work in this upcoming project, but still got a few little things I need to weld up there. And I had another welder that I've had for quite a while, and I've persisted with it for a long time, and it's just really bad. So it was a fairly cheap welder, I think around the, I probably bought it 10 years ago, and I've rarely used it because I just thought, I'm a really bad welder, but I've since had a couple of people come over to the house and that are very good professional welders, and they've said that the machine is crap. So given that the send-off it deserves, I've now replaced it with this, which a couple of these guys who do welding basically every day have really great experience with these, and are using them in their day-to-day life as fabricators. So I thought, well, that probably suits me. The price is pretty good. Got this from Sydney Tools. Yes, I bought it. This is not some kind of paid sponsored ad. So this was $7.99 as a starter kit, and let's have a bit of a look at what we get in it. So starter kit, as it implies, basically is everything you need to get started welding and a little bit more. So this is the welding unit with everything contained in there. So you've got your everything you need to run from the gas bottle to the power and all the welding, all the ground lead and all that kind of stuff. So it is a MIG and a STIG. So it's only there are ones you can buy where they've also got TIG, but I don't like those ones. I just want my MIG welder to be really good at being a MIG welder. I don't make bloody pull fences and stuff, so I never use the stick. But yeah, the MIG, gas and gasless just means the type of wire using and that. So you always get a better result with gas. But if you're just a home hobbyist and you're not going to be using it for much, you might go with gasless, but I don't like that wire. Got the welding trolley, something I've been using other trolleys like that thing before and that, so it's good to have a proper welding trolley. Got another helmet, so I've already got a helmet, but always good to get another one. Got this starter kit. So the reason why I like this is because often welders will have a lot of proprietary sort of stuff in the ends of welding guns. So some of them do, a lot of them use the same old sort of stuff, but some of them do have proprietary sort of stuff. So it's good just to get the UNIMIG one, because then I know that no matter what, I'm going to have the right thing ready to go. It's got some welding pliers there, which I've never had too, which is good because that's good to clear out the tip. And then some welding wire. So this kit normally comes with gasless wire, but I've just got some normal solid core gas wire there. So let's open this up and take a look at what we've got. Right, so here's the starter kit. And as you can see, it comes with everything sort of you need to get started. So these will be different size tips for the size wire you're using. So if I just bring my wire over here, you'll see the size it says there. Is it any clearer? No, it's rubbed off a bit in that, but basically this is a 5 kilo spindle, and yeah, it is ER70 S-6, which is the type of mold steel wire. And you see there it says 0.8, so it's 0.8 millimeters inside. So that's the wire. And every time, if you ever change wire, so common wire size is like 0.6, 0.8, 0.91 sort of mil. So home hobbyist sort of stuff, depending on the amps you're doing, you'll use probably 0.6 or 0.8. I just had 0.8 because The MIG, I normally use it for thicker sort of stuff generally, and I mean the main reason I use the MIG a lot is actually for tack welding stuff that I'm then going to weld with the TIG later to hold it in place. So we've got the wire. We've also got the trolley, so it's obviously got swivel casters there, and then you've got the big wheels there as well. Gas bottle goes at the back. Welder sits up the top here, and then you've got plenty of room for accessories in that too. So that's really good as a starter. Good welding trolleys, good place to keep, because keep obviously dragging around, keeping on the ground just full of dirt and stuff. So that'll be great. This is my dog who's just come in, decided to start tearing at the boxes, so he can get out. There you go, get out, buddy. He wants in on the action. So next is the helmet. It comes with a helmet, so you can see the inside there, some of the settings. Now helmets when I first got them were when I started welding were really small, and they're actually pretty crap, but these cheap style helmets are actually pretty good these days, auto darkening and stuff like that. So I've used some of the pretty expensive ones that, you know, solar powered or battery powered and stuff, and you know, they're good, but yeah, sometimes they're not as good. You see external adjustment here for if you want to, you know, really good feature here is grinding. So obviously when you're angle grinding, people just use safety glasses, but the speed at the stuff's falling off at and flying off at can bounce up and get underneath your safety glasses. So to be able to wear this helmet and set it to grinding, actually do some grinding work, that's really good. So be giving that helmet a fair go. I think my current helmet's about 3 or 4 years old, but it's probably due for replacement. So that's great. Now let's take a look at this. This is an argon regulator, and by argon I mean when it comes to welding with welding steel with a MIG welder, it will be an argon mix. Basically what this is this will tell you how much pressure is in the bottle. So this is a good indication of, you know, when the bottle's full, it's probably somewhere up here, and as the bottle gets emptier and emptier, it'll get down to here. So a good port of call for people who are new to welding, and that is to keep your eye on this, because there's nothing worse than getting somewhere down in here and starting a big weekend of welding, because you're not going to get far if the gas in the bottle's here and that. And then the other one is just how much gas comes out of here. So this is the bottle nut and this is the flow to the welder. So with MIG welding, I normally set it around here, around 20 normally, and just take it from there sort of thing. But yeah, it's in liters a minute. So that's your argon regulator. Comes with a little manual that tells you all the things you need to know. Okay, so we're out of the box. Now, first thing I noticed immediately is that, wow, this is super light. So this is designed as like a sort of portable welder, but that welder that I just disposed of before, geez, that feels twice as heavy as this thing. So not sure how much this weighs, but it wouldn't be much over 5 kgs, I reckon. I reckon that one I threw out was probably triple that. Essentially what this is the guide, and this is for a plug, but these are the guides for the different size wires. You can see there it says 1.0, and some will be knurled. That's for the, see there, it's like very, it's got a knurled there, and the other ones are just a ridge. This is for the knurled one is for the gasless wire, and the normal style one is for the gas wire. So we'll keep those safe. Got some gas hose. That's a fair length of gas hose there, so it's good. This is your standard sort of stick holder. I've used the stick on my TIG currently is actually a stick welder as well, and I think I've used it once just to see what the hell it's all about, and I've never used it again. This is industrial sort of guy doing this kind of stuff, doing pipe work and stuff like that, so I will never use that. But we have, this looks like it's pretty robust. Geez, this earth clamp is double the size of the strength of the one that I just disposed of. quick release fitting in that. So this is like a 3 meter long cable, so that's really great because there's nothing worse than working with tiny little cables that only reach 1.5 meters when trying to work on a car on a hoist like it is below. So that's great, we'll be using that. Now, one of the most important things about a MIG welder is the torch. Now, this was my biggest gripe with the welder I just disposed of, is that sometimes you'd press the button and gas wouldn't flow, wire would come out. Then sometimes it'd be vice versa, gas would be flowing and the wire wouldn't come out, and it was just horrendous to use, quite honestly. So this trigger feels a fair bit better, and you can see there the head is actually swiveling on the cable, which is great too. So again, 3 meter long cable here, and you can see this is also all quick release stuff too, which makes it better for servicing and things like that. So the thing about the welder I just disposed of and other cheaper welders is that, you know, this cable's normally all fixed to the machine. So that is great, that if anything ever happens, you just have to replace the cable or the gun, or you can upgrade your gun even to a spool type gun or something, and you don't have to worry about disposing the whole machine. This is a very important thing for people that they may overlook when buying a welder as well, and that is the length of the power cord, but more importantly, the type of socket it has here. So this plug is a 10 amp. You can see here because it's just got the normal 10 amp earth there. So that's ultra important if you are an at-home welder that doesn't have access to 15 amp power. So that is great. On the front here we have your little switch for MIG or MMA, which is the stick welding. This goes into there. I'll have to work out if it's negative or positive, forget, but it'll go into one of these ones. Here's foot pedal. I think this might be a foot pedal control for maybe running a spool gun or something, and that's where your MIG welder one goes. But you can see here settings for amps, voltage, and wire speed. So, you know, all these things in combination lead to how your welder welds and how much force it sort of welds with in terms of its current. So we'll get this open here. One of the great things about this machine over many others sort of in its price class is this mechanism here is really heavy duty. Again, one of the major gripes that last machine I had, this area here, and if you look at a lot of cheaper machines, you'll notice this area here is really cheaped out on, and this is really important because it's what determines the speed rate of your wire coming out. So when you set your wire speed here, you want that to actually relate to what's coming out of the gun, and that is controlled by here. And if this is a bit average and cheaped out, it won't work properly. Now, one of the most important parts for a beginner is setup. So this looks like it's got a lot of the stuff covered here. So you can see here, like what we said before, our wire size was, well, we know we're going to be welding steel. Our wire type was ER70S6. Our wire size is 0.8. So right now we know that this line here is for us basically, and this tells you the right roller to use. Like before we were saying about the knurled or the groove. So we've got to use the groove. We've got to have, I think that means the earth goes to positive. So that's good. I didn't know where that was going to go before, but that's already right here. It's telling me exactly what to do. And it says it right here. So we've got that. Shielding gas, you can see there, argon CO2 mix. We've got that. Gas flow rate. Now, before, you know, I was saying that sometimes I set it to about 20. Well, this is saying between 8 and 12 is all we need. So that could have been a function of the crappy welder I had before, that I need to use a bit more gas to make it work properly. But then this is the most important part. So depending on your material thickness, this is already giving you a guide on what to use for voltage and wire speed. So that's really important, because this is one of the hardest things to know when you're a beginner. How do you know what to do all these things for, how to set all these? So having that there now is an absolute critical starting point. That means you won't have to guess on what to do, and they've taken all the guesswork out of it by the pros testing this exact machine on how, you know, what to weld. If you're welding 3 mil steel, well, you put it on 20 volts and put the wire speed on about 8.5 meters a minute, and you should be in the ballpark. All right, so we've got a lot of stuff down there, but let's build this trolley, set it up, and put this welder to the test, and this will be some real world amateur hour sort of stuff. So yeah, this if you're looking to get started with welding or buying a welder, stay tuned, because out of the box settings will be pretty much what you'll expect, because I ain't no pro welder, that's for sure. So let's see how this welds versus another machine that I've used quite a lot. I've used other machines as well, so let's get welding. Now it's still red hot, and without a word of a lie, that right there is the first weld I've done with this machine. Let me just turn it off. All these years, I admit I'm not a great welder, but all these years I thought I couldn't MIG weld to save my life, and that is why I TIG welded basically everything, because I could never get MIG weld results, and I wondered why everyone said MIG welding was so easy, and I just seem to have all the problems in the world with it. That is the first weld I've done with this MIG welder, just using the settings. Haven't touched anything other than the settings that are on the UNIMIG. So that's I think that's roughly 3mm steel, and my god, that was just effortless. I pulled the trigger, and what I wanted to happen happened. The wire speed was consistent, the amps were consistent. This machine is just 4 thumbs up. I don't know how to say it. I think it's got a setting in, or whatever it's called, true color. The color that comes out there and the clarity of that versus, well, here's my old helmet. It's a SIG Weld one. I think this type of helmet's like about normally $100. That helmet's really green. It gives a really green look on everything. This helmet was like welding with like your Oakleys on. It was like real life. It was great. I'm really disappointed now. And the reason is because I've had that old crap welder for 10 years, and I've been putting up with it for 10 years and just thinking that my skills were completely useless, where, you know, that I definitely need to get back into MIG welding now and get some more practice up and that. But that's sort of shell shocked me a bit. I've got to be honest, I'm a bit lost for words. So it's something that now I wish I would have done many years ago, because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, when I was welding stuff on this car here, I probably could have used the MIG welder, and I used the TIG instead, and it takes so much longer to put stuff in place, and that with the TIG, you know, you don't have a spare hand. The MIG's just point and shoot, and the TIG's really hard to get stuff in place. So I really wish I'd mowed on down and got this welder a long time ago. Yeah, I cannot recommend this thing enough. So if you're in the market for a welder, or you want to upgrade your welder, you think you might be having a few problems like what I have, where your results maybe aren't the results that other people are getting, and you're thinking it's just you. It might not be you. It might be your welder. It might be a dodgy average one that's, you know, a bit too long in the tooth, or it's got problems in it from day one. But yeah, if I was to recommend a MIG welder, this one right here, I don't think you can go wrong with. I mean, yeah, full amateur or a decent welder in that, and I set it up in, you know, about 3 minutes, and yeah, it's welding brilliantly. Couldn't ask for more. So I think that'll about do it. Next, I'll probably drop past in about 6 months again with this same welder and let you know exactly how I felt after about 6 months. But in terms of everything you get here, wow, it's brilliant value for money. Next is, you see my old TIG here. That's really long in the tooth, and that's also got a couple of little issues here and there. So that's probably next. And I've got to say, I'm this impressed with the MIG welder from UNIMIG that I'm pretty much decided that I reckon the TIG, when I go for it, will be one of theirs as well. So anyway, if you've got a UNIMIG, if you've had great experience with them, drop it down in the comments below. Tell me what model you've got, and maybe if you've got the TIG and you've used it, let me know how you're going with the TIG. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.